there folks, it's me Malorian, and it's time for a War Machine battle report. And not just a battle report, this will be a series, because I just went to a Steamroller, first one of the year, and this is one where everyone's, gunning for it. They want to see where they're going to be starting in this new 2020 and what the meta is going to be. But for me, I am starting something else where sometime during this year, I really want to win a tournament. It used to be more standard back in Mark II age that 1 or 2 tournaments a year I'd be able to win. That has not happened for quite a while, and I would like that to happen again. So that's my personal goal, is to win at least 1 tournament over the year, and who knows, maybe this is going to be the one. What I'm going to be taking is my Mercenaries, because I'm still on my Mercenary kick, and I am going to be running for my first list a Llaelese Resistance one, which is MacBain, running a Blockader. I'm going to have Anastasia with a Gobber Tinker. There's Gibbs, double Morrowan Archon, double Thamarite Archon, the Arcane Gun Mages, Tempest, like the Gun Mages, the good old Signar stuff, but now better, because now that it's in Llaelese, they all have snipers, so that's freaking amazing. They shoot down whatever I need. They have the U of A, of course. There's the Rangers, and then I got double Thorn Gun Mages. So what this list is for is to do 2 things. One, if there's anything out there that's really range-based, I can probably shut it down. If there's anything out there that has high armor, with just like high armor infantry, like Constants, I can shoot them down. And also things like Cricks. Cricks is always a problem when they have all these crazy high defense infantry that have, stealth and blah, blah, blah. No. This will just shoot it down and do great things for me against it. So that's what this list is for. But pairing with it, I made a last second change. So for the last couple of months, I've been practicing with Fiona. Fiona is a really good caster, and I've been running her with the Precursor Knights. But it just really hasn't been working out the best. I have, I believe, a winning record with it, but it's just really not meeting what I need it to. And as well, I feel a lot of people are starting to take a lot of things, like I am, to be combating these Precursor Knights. So I don't feel it was the right thing to do. So what I did instead is I brought out Magnus2, and it feels so good because I had a thing where I have not been playing it for like 6 months as I try to force myself to get off my crutches of Magnus2 and get into other casters. Now, the Magnus2 list I'm going to be running is in Irregulars. It's running a Blockader, a Nomad, and 3 Toros, so a lot of punching power and lots of armor. I have Anastasia, I have Des, the Hermit, J.A.I.M.s, Orin, Ragman, Widget, and the Eliminators. Now, something else in here I should mention is there are 3 models I have never used before. So, Widget, J.A.I.M.s, and Des I have just recently painted, and this will be their debut coming out here, and they should be doing very amazing things. This list is all about overwhelming you, tying you down, and if I can't just win on scenario, smashing you down when you can't deal with my armor. Des being a very cheap mechanic that can also give me an extra attack. J.A.I.M.s with Bullet Dodger can get to places and jam things up or contest, and then Des, who can shoot Magnus in the back and slam me forward, giving me even more threat, or hell, just shooting something else. So this will be a very interesting mix, and I'm really interested to see how it does. So let's jump into game number 1. Game number 1 turned out to be against Padraig. So Padraig, he's of course a local here. He actually just came back from a year off. He tried out this evil 40k game for a while, but he came back to us, so that's great. And he's bringing his trolls, and this one's gonna be Madrak 2. And when I looked at it, there was nothing that had like lots of troll infantry. It was all lots of big beasts. So this is something on a smash with my Magnus 2. So that's what I dropped, and wouldn't you know it, when I get +1 to go first and get a reroll, I got to go first. So looking at this deployment, he clearly is going more for the left side. He also has some bears that are ambushing, and I have Anastasia who's ambushing. But looking at it, there's some heavies in there, Rock and a Mauler and blah blah that I have to worry about dealing with my armor. But really, if I can get in there and I can start taking out these key heavies, from that point on, there won't be very much he can do. So in my first turn, I rush up there. I'm going to be putting up Escort, Bullet Dodger onto J.A.I.M.s, and then just getting up there as fast as I can. Like I said, I got to respect 14 inches from either side from his bears, but otherwise, I just get on right up there and say, hey, let's fight this out. On his turn, he's going to be kind of moving more to the middle here. The bears being a little bit more tentative. Nothing really rushing into me, and I'm completely fine with this. This is something where he didn't really give me a lot of things. He was trying to stay out of most of my threats, although I can get into the bouncer with my big old Colossal there, the Blockader, so that's what I might as well do, and otherwise I'll just be really setting up for later, and I'm fine with that, right? I'm going to get into his face, lock him down, and just try and get ahead on attrition and scenario. So that's what I do. Hermit's going to be my flag boy, staying in the back. I'm going to be going up there and feeding and saying that nothing can move towards me and nothing can be going to the left. One of the more questionable moves I made is that Nomad on the far right. Now, something I could have very easily done is just really stay out of that 14 and just wait for any bears to come on and smash them after. However, one of the things I'm doing here is I want to definitely have a scenario lead. So if I have him there, there's a better chance that the bears will attack him, not get into the zone, and more importantly, not contest my flag. So I'm kind of throwing away my Nomad, but even then, he has pretty good armor. He should survive okay. Otherwise, yeah, I get up there, I kill the bouncer. I'm just kind of like more respecting things from the side, and yeah, feeling pretty good, because if he can't get to my flag, which I'm pretty sure he can't, I'll at least score 1 point. So he does pull on the bears on the right side. They do charge into the Nomad, but more importantly, the way that thing's set up is that I had one Toro that could countercharge. I basically kill one bear, except the Tufts, but hey, who cares, you know? It doesn't make attacks, so big deal. The other bear did do a little bit of scraps into my Nomad, but no systems out, nothing major. And then otherwise, yeah, nothing else super crazy here. Oh, wait, nothing super crazy, except he did get one of his heavies that I couldn't capture into, so I believe it's a Brawler, getting into my big old thing here, the Blockader, and actually did some really good work to it. As you can see there, I lost a system already, so he did some pretty good punching to me. You know, if I could have slammed Magnus to catch that Brawler, I would have, but whatever, it's no big deal. And in the end of the day here, I'm not super worried. A lot of his things he actually pulled back, and I have Widget there so I can repair my arm. If I can go and kill that heavy, well, I'm going to just get so far up here on scenario, and then I still have all these other heavies as well. So even though my Blockader took a bit of a hit, I'm already going up 1-0 in scenario, and I'm set up to get even further ahead. So on my turn 3 now, basically it's time for Magnus to run away, because the way I'm going to lose is by getting Magnus killed. I'm able to wipe out almost all the bears. As you can see there, there's really just the one bear left, so really not worried about that. Was not able to clear out the right zone, no big deal. Had to throw over there to have Orin as kind of like, hey bear, don't contest my flag. Otherwise, on the left side, you know, I kill off that Brawler. I've also thrown my Eliminators and J.A.I.M.s into his face just to keep rock off of me. But now I'm going to score my flag again. I'm going to be scoring his zone. So it's now 3-0. Oh, I also brought Anastasia on the right to, you know, help out with the bears over there. But yeah, you know, Dez shooting, doing some little bits of damage. It's just everybody just doing a little bit of work, and now I'm up on scenario, up on attrition, and it's gonna be pretty tough for him. So he spends most of this turn trying to find a way to get through my Eliminators and J.A.I.M.s. Eventually he gets there, gets rock onto the Blockader, destroys the Blockader. Meh, it's sad, but it happens. And then otherwise, you know, kills Orin, does a little bit of things, but more importantly, does not get anything into the left zone, does not contest my flag, and that's the game. I mean, to be honest, if he had gone and contested, let's say, the zone on the left, I still had the very easy target of his objective, which is already down just to like 6 boxes, I think it was, or 9. So it was already pretty damaged, so I was already in a pretty good spot for that. But yeah, win this one on scenario, I'll take it. I think Padraig was happy too, because hey, he got to destroy my Blockader. So, you know, happiness all over, and I start this tournament with a single win. Going into round 2, I'm actually going to be up against the TO, the person running the event, Stevie, and his Menoth. Now, this is a list that's very, very interesting. This is a Vlad 3 list that's done in a way that he's allowed to be taking the Judy, the heavy cav from both Menoth and Khador, and then, of course, he has his Midnight Archons and stuff in there, too. Now, the last time I played against this, and the first time I played against this, I actually tried my MacBain list, and it was awful because, you know, not only do I go up there with my countermeasures, and then the Midnight Archons who have Grievous can kill things and my feat's useless, but they also have Dispel, which will take off countermeasures. It's really, really bad. So I'm hoping that my Magnus list will be able to handle it, but this is also a very bad situation for me in that this scenario really rewards you to go wide when I want to break up, and then I also can't break up because I have this building and water in the middle. So I'm going to be in this very weird spot. My goal for this game is to really focus on the left flank here. I want to be trying to score my flag and my zone very quickly, trying to kill the things over here, and then just trying to slowly contest his stuff. So, you know, I got Anastasia, I got my little ninjas. Hopefully they can get this job done, and then hopefully at some point too, I can be using my feet to lock him down and get my Colossal onto his, but at the same time, if his Colossal ever gets like a little bead on Magnus, I'm just dead, so I'd rather that didn't happen. So as usual, I got first turn, same spells, rushing on up, and otherwise my Kayazy are holding way back because they're not wanting to do anything but contest. So right now I'm making a show of my Toros on the right being like, oh, I got 3 Toros over there. They're going to threaten you. But to be super honest, they don't plan to really fight there. You know, if he does something stupid like running up the Judy, sure, I'll take it out. But odds are that's not going to be what happens. I'm going to be bringing them back to the left and just trying like using them to try and contest that flag for as long as possible. But yeah, there's my first play. His turn 1, yeah, he does not go for that bait. He is super rushing to the right. So now it's very evident that he's going to the right and really pushing over there and saying, all right, come to me and let's see what happens. Whereas on the left, he's in this great spot with this cav, which is really kind of like out of my threat, where I don't have a really good choice here for going for any of my feet kind of shenanigans. And at the same time, if I get really aggressive at all with the Blockader, he's going to hit it hard. That cav unit over there already has a Signs Importance, and yeah, they can do a lot of damage if I let them. So looking at this, what I want to do is try and do what I can while staying relevant. I measured it out, and I have this perfect spot where I can spray down the far right cav model and then only have one more that can charge me. So that's what I want to do while staying relatively conservative. So I do that. Spray that one down, and then after everything's done, it turns out that from me shifting around templates and things, I am now within range of the second cav model as well. So I'm going to be eating 2 charges, which is not what I really planned on. Plus it turns out that whereas like those little shield guard dudes behind the building, they can get some pretty good charges on me too. So I didn't really think about that. My Blockader might get a little bit more hurt here than I wanted, but otherwise I'm just trying to slowly contest. Nothing's even bothering to go into his zone, because if I do, he'll easily kill it. He's not scoring this turn anyway, so I might as well not do anything for that. But I am going to be putting that Toro by his flag to make it a lot harder for him to take it out, unless he brings his Judicator over, in which case it's more of a position where I can try and feed against it and trap it down. So on his turn, he is able to bring over Judicator, and he's able to kill off that one Toro, so I'm going to Toro down. He also runs up his little Paladin to go and get in my face. Meanwhile, on the left, he does charge into me and run into my face and does some very significant damage. Between the Hermit being there and getting off those charges, he does like half damage to my Blockader, or a good portion. I don't know what the full thing is, but it's very significant. A lot more than I really thought he was going to get, and so that is awful. I did not want to take that damage early. Otherwise, he has the Midnight Archon on the left, very expertly contesting that zone, but he did make a very bit of a mistake on the right, where he did not put his Menite on the flag because he thought Vlad would be there, but then he realized after for the measurements for dash that he couldn't actually be on the flag to cover everything he needed. So he only scores his own zone, doesn't score in the flag or anything else, so it's going to be 1-0, but that's not too bad. Hopefully now I'm in a spot where I can just wipe out the left flank, start trying to fix up my Toro, my Blockader, and then trying to like turn this battle around. So I tried doing that, and I do okay. I kill all the cav, that's not a problem. I even punch the Hermit in the face and use my little rocket fist to push him farther away so I can score my flag. But otherwise, I send a Nomad with full focus, being able to walk over and make attacks on that Thamarite Archon. And the real problem here is I need 7s to hit, and I didn't hit any into the last one, in which I rolled so shitty I didn't do any damage. So that super sucks. Not only does it mean I don't score my zone, but it also means that I am going to have to deal with this thing and not move over the way I wanted to. So that's really awful. Otherwise, one Toro comes over and it's going to start trying to make some trouble here after I killed that Paladin. Just trying to, again, tempt that Crusader over ever so slightly so that it's dealing with the Toros and not shooting at my Blockader. And meanwhile, I tied up his zone with Anastasia, who failed to kill a Cav model, and my Kayazy. So hoping there's enough there that he can't actually clear it all out. So this will make it 1-1, and so that's not so bad. All right. Going back to his turn, as you would expect, the Judicator destroys that Toro, so that's sad. But damn, that dash does work. So thanks to dash, and I believe he actually does this one maybe as his feat as well. I don't know. He doesn't really have a good time to do his feat. The Cav over there can actually walk to the back of my models and make attacks. Luckily, he was not able to do that to the far right Kayazy, and so even with Signs Importance now being switched over to this unit, they fail to kill that one Kayazy, so I still contest the zone, so thank goodness for that. Otherwise, his Midnight Archons, God, I hate them. They keep on making more trouble for me. So the left one doing some damage to my Nomad, the bottom one here starting to go against my objective. He's going to score another point and contest all my things, so now he's 2-1, and I just need to start killing these things and scoring more points. So in my turn, I finally kill off everything that's over here on the left. By now, I wanted to be pushing more to the center, but I just couldn't. I also kill off his Hermit, and so I'm able to get my flag and all those things. My Kayazy charges in there, fails to kill a Cav model again. And then I sacrifice Orin to go contest the flag. So in this one, I score 2. So this is going to now make it 3-2 for me. So that's okay. Des shoots into the Menite at the bottom here, Archon, and does 4 damage. So sure, why not? But yeah, this is turning out to be a real struggle. On his turn then, he clears out the zone, he's on the flag, destroys my objective, and so even though he wasn't able to really do anything to my stuff here on the left, he did score a whole bunch of points for him. So it was 3-2. This is now going to mean that he scored 3 more in this turn, going up to 5, and I'm going to score 2 as well, going to 5 as well. So the grind is happening, it's going on, and I need to get in there because now I'm going to have a hard time ever contesting anything of significance. So what I do with this then is that the Blockader is going to come up and it's going to spray away the guy that was on his flag, and then otherwise I'm just trying to slow things down the best I can, trying to score my flags the best I can while doing whatever I can to him. So he's going to score a zone, I can't stop that. I'm going to, in this turn, destroy his objective and then also be able to go over here and score my zone, score the flag, so that's looking good. But attrition-wise, he is winning, and he's going to be in a better spot to start pulling ahead. So on his turn, what he's able to do is he's able to start shooting at my Blockader. He's, you know, I only have one side now. I'm kind of hanging on a thread. Meanwhile, he takes out my last Toro. He's pushing on in there. So he's going to score his flag again. He's going to score his zone. I'll get my zone. And luckily, because of my 4 inches, I can now get onto his Judicator. So what I really need to happen now is that I go up with my Blockader, walk up, put all my punches into him, buy an extra attack with the Widget, and then hopefully between that and also having Ragman there, that'll be enough to take down the Judicator, and then maybe I can pull myself out of this. But I need to also deal with things at the bottom. There's just a lot of things I need to deal with. So I go around and I start doing this, and the biggest thing that was a mistake is that I was just out. If I'm going to be within range to punch the Judicator, as far over as I could have moved that Ragman, I cannot actually get it within that death field. So in the end, I leave the Judicator like on 6 boxes, which is, oh, couldn't believe it. One of the things I was wondering if I could have done is maybe the Hermit could have gone over and actually caught it with its own little thing, but I thought I wouldn't need it. So now he's there. Magnus, I had to decide to leave the zone in order to actually make sure I could feed on him. Otherwise, the Judicator just kills me and the Knights do crazy things. So I've locked down everything of importance. But yeah, I don't score my zone. I don't score my flag. He scores his zone and it's back to him. And on his turn, with his shooting, he is now able to shoot down the Blockader. He's getting low on time, which is my only hope. But now he's scoring his zone again. He's scoring his flag again. He's getting up ahead. And the other thing is that I've not been talking about turns, but we're getting to the last turns here. So I am really pretty much at the end of my rope. So, knowing that it's at the end and that I just might as well get whatever I can, I bring back Magnus into my zone so I can score that at least. I go up with my Nomad, kill the models I need to so that I can score my flag. Ragman is just a champ. He walked up to contest, but also got off the whole Bone Shaker and killed his solo there as well. So, that was pretty good. So, I score 2, he scores 1. And on his last turn, there's not really much he needs to do. He kills Ragman, gets into the zone, contests my flag, so he scores another 2 points, because now he has his choir in the zone. I score another 1 point, and at the end of all these 7 turns, all these points that were scored, he's going to be winning 14 control points to 12. So this one was a real grind. You know, I can throw in the excuses that like, oh, it was a bad scenario for me. The terrain wasn't good on top of that. And then, you know, like I failed to take out that Midwinter Archon early. But you know what? I can't really blame Stevie. This is an awesome list. And if you're not seeing this in your meta, you should maybe expect it, because it's kind of terrifying. And you know, even if I would have had like a better scenario and things like that, the Cav can still go wide, they can stay out of my feet, they can charge in, do tons of damage. It's just a scary list. So something I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with in the future, because like I said, so far both my builds can't deal with it, so I'll have to figure something out. So as far as the tournament goes, I'm now only 1-1, so much for winning this event, but hey, I can win the other 2 and still be at least 3-1. So game 2 is going to be one of the Calgary guys. That's going to be Brad and his trolls. And in this one here, he is going to be running Bearka. So I got double bears coming at me this time. Again, because even though he has some infantry, there's some things I really need to hit. And when he pops his feet and says, if you punch me, you're stationary, yeah, the Blockader don't care about that. So I'm really just planning to get in there and doing a grind. Maybe I could have played my other list. I don't think it would have been the right drop. So, as usual, I got my first turn. And usual things, ran up there, escort, blah, 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 blah. And what I'm really planning to do here is, again, this is kind of like a wide scenario. I don't think this is going to be a scenario win at all. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do this one through attrition. So I'm just going to have to basically run up here as I did now, staying out of his threat. He'll come up, and then I'll just kind of go from there, seeing whether he feats or not. So on his turn, he does come up here to get in my way. I do able to get off 1 free counter charge here and kill off 1 model, so that was great. But he did put up not his feat, but the spell that he has countercharge. He put up the spell so that everything has, you know, basically fog of war, so everything has concealment. Not really the biggest deal because I don't have a lot of things that are actually ranged other than sprays, but more critically, he did not feat. And he was trying to wondering after if he should or not. The big thing is that I can always counter feat and lock things down, and I mean, either way, my Blockader is going to do work. But yeah, he did not feat, so my plan is for me to kill off as much infantry as I can, and then after this, I want to see if I can lock him down, because all the beasts are where I need them to, and be in a really good spot attrition-wise too. So that's what I do. I'm able to kill off tons of that infantry that's here in the middle, really get a lot of my pieces so they're up there and threatening. I feat so that everything's locked down and again can't come towards me, can't go to the left. And I'm also able to get my Nomad onto his Dunian Archon. Now unfortunately the dice again fail me and I don't kill it. I leave it on one box because of a lousy damage roll. But what can you do? That's the way it goes. And either way, he's just in a really bad spot now where he's kind of locked down, and even though this is going to be his feat turn, he's kind of run out of the pieces he needs to keep me away. So he brings on the bears. So the bears are running up on the left side to try and tie me up and bog me down. Actually, all the bears come here on the left, and some of them are going after with the Nomad as well. So the Nomad takes some damage. That's okay. Otherwise, there's not very much he can do. Same sort of spells, and now I'm ready to get in there and do lots of great work. So on this turn, what I plan to do is the Toro on the right, he's a sacrifice. He's going to run to the back far right of that zone, and I'm going to forget that zone for the rest of the game and just focus on the middle. And then meanwhile, on this turn, I should be able to decimate the bears. I should be able to take out his Mauler, which will be huge, and then just really tie down everything else. And then from there, I don't think he can come back. So that's what I really do. And so between, you know, my Kayazy coming over here on the left and Dez shooting one down, I'm able to kill off one bear and then like kind of block off the other ones. Yeah, I go up there, I kill the Archon, I'm able to kill off the Mauler, I kill off one of the bears, there's the Toro over there, like I said. Orin, Orin keeps on shooting lightning into the infantry on the right, and they keep on toughing, but otherwise, I also destroy his objective. I also get lots of things in the way of the Earthborn, and then Magnus just runs away in a spot that he'll be super safe. So, you know, I'm up 1-0 on scenario, which is sure, why not? But the biggest deal here is that, look, all of our feats are off the table. I'm significantly up on attrition, and more importantly, I've kind of taken away the only thing he has that's really going to allow him to break my armor. So on his turn here, he's going to go in there and try and do some damage. He kills one Kayazy, he kills my little ninja bot, he does some damage to a Toro, but there's not really much else he can do. So on my turn then, I go further in and yeah, I just start, he says I could be going for assassination, but I'm not going to go for that. I kill the Earthborn, I kill off more bears, I lock more things down, and again, Magnus just staying really, really safe. You know, there is that one model by me, but there's not really much he can do. And at this point, my opponent says, yeah, I might as well throw in the towel, because really, at this point, the only beast he has is the little fire dude there, and he's very crippled. He's there on like 6 boxes or something like that. He's obviously not going to get the right side. He might be able to chew through the Hermit, maybe, but the main thing is that with all the stuff I have there in Berka's face, he's gonna die. So I can't remember if I have one more picture or not, but this one's gonna be a forfeit. And yeah, it was a forfeit. I have no more pictures, and so yeah, I'll take it. You know, it's one of those games where I got in there, I took out the key pieces I needed to, and unfortunately got him to a point where he really couldn't fight back. So I always feel bad when I get to a spot where it is a forfeit, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take the win, and we'll move on to Game 4 here. And Game 4, I'm going to get that matchup I talked about. No, I talked about there's that Jordan guy with that Siege 1 list I had to be worried about. Well, here we are, and so even though MacBain has been sitting collecting dust on the sidelines, it's time to whip this boy out. So this is going to be a very interesting game. In my mind, the way this goes is that I'm going to go first, and the going first thing was tough. Both of us had the +1, and so I won it, but it very easily could have been him. But really, what I want to do is just get up there, get out of his range, and then past that, run in there with feated Rangers that have countermeasures up so that nothing can really shoot. So he has a really bad choice of trying to do any sort of a feat turn, and then after that, me just taking away so many pieces that he just really can't come back. So this is all in theory. We've never played it, so we'll find out if that's true. So, like I said, I did the first turn, and basically I figure out what his ranges are, and I get up there. And one of the things I want to mention about this game, too, is that it was really refreshing to have a game where we were both always so honest with each other. And what I mean by that is that sometimes in a tournament you can have things where like, oh, you know, like I fail for this gotcha, blah, blah, blah. But all the way through this game, Jordan and I were like, oh, just so you know, if you do this, I do have that. Or, you know, in one spot here, I moved a little bit up. He's like, oh, actually, if I do this, I can get in range of that. And we were allowing each other to basically do, like, not really take backs, but really in the middle of that activation, changing what we're going to do because, oh, you probably don't know this. So, you know, tip of the hat to Jordan for that. But anyway, normal thing for me, I have Fortune onto the Gun Mages, Countermeasure onto the Rangers, I have Failsafe onto the big guy. I pretty much just run MacBain into that cover then after that, or charge into there anyway. But yeah, basically all my guns are staying out of his range, and I'm going to say, all right, come up here, do what you want, and I'm going to get first alpha and probably second alpha too. So on his turn, he does his best to move up there. He's not able to get off any attacks that are very significant because I'm just out of his range. He was looking at doing something I didn't really expect, where he could actually go make with a new Thrall, craft one, run it up an Electroleap. But even with that, I was too far out for it to really do anything. So he really just makes his foxhole, gets inside, goes wide, and says, all right, let's see what happens. So on my turn then, what I'm going to do is what exactly I said I was going to do. I pop my feet, I roll enough so I have super mega tough on all my Rangers, and then also on both my Morrowan Archons. My Rangers run up to cover as much distance as possible. I also run up there with the Anastasia so I can help contest that flag. The Morrowin's there as well. And with my shooting, I'm able to do a lot of damage into the Charger on the left. It's really not a good spot right now. And on the right side, just kind of picking away at the other light that's on this side, just doing whatever I can. And yeah, you know, overall, not tons of damage. I had the Blockader that's there in his face and saying, yeah, what are you going to do? A lot of your stuff can't shoot. You can try doing a few things, but you're in a lot of trouble. And if you don't do anything else, I'm going to be scoring some points. Now, if you notice on my bottom right zone, I did not put my MacBain into there, because if I did, there's a chance he might kill me being out in the open. I really like being where I am now, where he has limited line of sight. I'm very far back. I'm in cover, so I'm sacrificing scenario, but I want to stay alive. So this turn took him a while. He tried to figure out some things he could do. In the end, it didn't really work out for him. The biggest thing he tried doing here is trying to go on the left side and trying to shoot down my Archon. But because of me being in the forest and having defense 18, really didn't work out. Anastasia comes up and tries to kill off my Gibbs that's on the flag. He's able to hit me and force a tough, but I tough, so it's pretty much stuck there. So there's going to be no scoring there. He throws Arcane Shield onto Triumph and says, all right, buddy, hold back that Blockader. It's up there. The one on the right, the Storm Strider on the right, also moves out so it can take some shots. Tries shooting at that Thamarite Archon, has trouble because I had cover, and then after moved up for getting some shield guard type stuff, so it really doesn't do anything either. And so really, at the end of this turn, he didn't feat, he didn't really get done much at all, and now I'm in a great spot where I can just try doing tons of work and getting back at him. So what I do with this work is basically on the left, I'm able to kill off both those lights, so that's fantastic. I'm able to kill off also Triumph in the middle, so he's dead. I kill off a ton of the Risen, not all of them, so he's still contesting the middle zone. I also kill off that Anastasia that used to be behind me there, so I'm going to score my flag. I'm not going to score the middle. And on the right side, I actually pulled a little stupid there, where I tried to blind his Stormstrider, and I went for the spear first, and I forgot that when I hit it, I got pushed away, so I didn't get a second chance. So it is not going to be actually blinded, so that's bad. But otherwise, I put some damage into it because now all my gun mages are shooting into it. My Thamarite shot into it, so it's down, you know, like a third of its boxes or whatever, maybe down to half. Otherwise, I'm making layers and trying to jam things up so I'll lose as little as possible, because guaranteed this will be his feat turn. So I do go up 1-0 on scenario, and we'll see what he does now. And like I said, this is going to be his feat turn. He really does try to do his best. And as you can see here, he does actually kill quite a bit. So he kills both my Archons on the left, kills off Gibbs, kills off almost all my Thorn Gun Mages. So that was pretty devastating there. Almost all my Rangers are dead. He did a tiny bit of damage to my Blockader, but not very significant at all. Meanwhile, on the right side, what happened there is he tried to find a way so he could be getting in there and doing tons of damage with his Stormstrider, but it had to take a free strike, and not only did it get blinded by the free strike, but I cranked the damage and actually killed it with the free strike. So that was pretty huge. I lost quite a bit, and then obviously from looking what's going on here, yeah, it's really over. I mean, not only could I just walk up and start punching Siege in the face with my Blockader, but also attrition-wise, I could just ignore him and then be, okay, I'll kill off your light on the right, kill off the Stormstrider on the left side with my Blockader, start scoring all these different things, and just win on scenarios. So he also decides to throw in the towel at this point. You know, it's round 4. It's very obvious that this game's going to be over, so it totally makes sense. Again, I do always still feel bad when we do have games that people have to throw in the towel on, but I think this one makes sense. So overall, I finished the tournament going 3-1, so I'm okay with that. That's pretty good. We did have 2 players that ended up undefeated, and then for myself, I came up being 5th out of 20-ish people. So, you know what? I'm pretty happy about that. The one game I did lose, it was a real, you know, close game, so it's not like I got, you know, completely steamrolled or anything like that. So I'm really happy with the way I played. I'm really happy with the list I'm running now. I do feel I will have to play with that list a bit to try and find some way to be dealing with that Cav list. But then again, you know, if you find the perfect list for the Boogeyman, you'll probably then won't see it. So either way, guys, thanks for watching. Here's 4 battle reports all in one. If you have any comments on any of these or my lists or anything like that, please just go ahead, post it down below. And otherwise, we'll catch you later.